Hi, this is my turbine engine that I built from a turbocharger and some odds and ends, and we're going to walk you through all its parts.
Okay.
So I have here a switch for my oil pump, a switch for my ignition transformer, and a switch for my oil cooler, which I use if I'm going to run for a long time. This is a key switch that I can take the key out if I need be. This is my power light, and this is my oil pressure gauge, and I have an extra gauge for future expansion. Moving around. Alright, so the basis of this engine is a turbocharger that I salvaged off of an old Peterbilt. You can see the turbine wheel in here, just like that, spins. This is the combustor here, this is where the fuel burns. I built this myself out of a piece of steel pipe, welded these joints together here in this flange. Coming around this way, this is the oil tank. There's a couple quarts of oil in here, and it gets circulated through the turbo bearings just as it would in a normal engine. I have my spark plug ignition wire here, just a normal ignition wire from a car, and a normal automotive spark plug, and I have my fuel inlet here and a ground for the ignition here. So I have the two ignition wires and a fuel line.
Okay.
This is the cold side, or the compressor side of the turbocharger. The cold air is sucked in here, and it gets forced into the combustor I mentioned earlier and mixed with fuel and burned. This is my throttle control. This is an emergency shut-off valve, and this is the fine needle valve, so I can control the speed of the engine by turning this valve a little bit. Down here is the motor for the oil pump, just a normal AC motor, and here is a 10,000 volt transformer. And it runs on propane out of a regular barbecue propane tank. Here's how the starting procedure is going to work. I'm going to turn on my oil pump and let it build sufficient oil pressure at this gauge here. I'm going to take this leaf blower, I'm going to stick it in the intake there, and I'm going to let the turbine spin up for a little while. Then I'm going to turn on my ignition, which will create a spark in the combustor over there. And then last I'm going to turn on my fuel, and it should start right up.
Rolling.
Okay, so I've reset the leaf blower to blow more air, and hopefully we can avoid a hot start this time, and it'll run, perhaps, maybe, probably not, but maybe.